I'm under the opinion that based on the actions of that evening, that a reconsideration vote at this particular point would be out of order, simply because of the fact that several factors. Number one, that meeting was adjourned, and it could have been recessed. It could have been taken at that meeting, but a formal vote and action was taken to accept the bid that was received on the property. So it would be my view that and that you entered into a legal transaction with the bidder in order to accept the piece of foreclosed property that the town had. So in my view, that any further action to reconsider it would be inappropriate at this time. I mean, there's a variety of other information that I have here for you. I did provide to you a chronological order of notification to the previous owner that was taken by the finance office prior to taking and accepting a bid. And I guess, unless I hear something different, would expect a motion in a second so we can discuss it.
I think it needs discussion. The issue at hand is the previous. Okay, I'll make a motion to discuss it.
I need a second.
Second.
Discussion.
It appears that back some time ago, and I guess Jim, you and Marcia, Bruce Brown, Murphy, and Tom Fournier.
Not this Murphy.
I'm sorry.
Not this Murphy.
George Murphy.
George Murphy. I think he's here. He can attest to that.
I didn't know you were so thin-skinned.
Oh, no, but I mean, it's pretty popular name.
The thing is that in this particular document, it says tax-acquired property policy. The thing that bothers me, there is nothing there that says, that I can read, that says anything to do about appraisal. And so therefore, it would appear to me that unfortunately or unfortunately, I guess the vote that was taken is legal. The issue at hand is, in my mind, is we should set a property policy where if we took the tax card, and I'm only using this as an example, if we took the tax card and used that as a basis to work from, and we cut that, whatever the value of the tax card happens to be, if we cut that in half and use that as a basis for a minimum bid, at least it would give us something to work from. And there's nothing that I've found that says anything about that. I think Janet did a good job in trying to secure information from the owner, a previous owner, and it appears that nothing is returned and signed, and so therefore it's at best an awkward situation. I can certainly sympathize with the owner. However, I can't find anything that says it was done illegally, per se. Now, as far as morally, that's a different ballgame. But as far as the written word is concerned, it doesn't appear, and I could be very wrong, but it doesn't appear that there's anything that was done that would prohibit the sale to continue of this lien property.
Okay, Ms.
Chairman.
Yes.
Okay, there's been a lot of talk that it wasn't an up-and-up thing. I would just like to quote the law, and I will try and talk loudly because everybody says they can never hear me. It's in Title 36, subsection 946, Paragraph 3. No municipal officer shall, while holding municipal office, acquire from that municipality any interest in real estate acquired by that municipality on account of non-payment of taxes, unless such sale occurs by sealed bid after duly advertising the same at least twice during a 7-day period prior to the acceptance of bids. Because there's been a lot of talk around town that it wasn't on the up and up. And it was.
Morally and unethical. and
Right.
That law states it's what.
That's
not the
right,
case.
and this has been in effect for some time.
Okay, well noted.
And as long as I've been here, they have never had an appraisal on property. The bid had to be high enough to cover all the town's expenses up to that time. That was the only real requirement. You could turn it down if it didn't cover.
See, that isn't even in here, and this is something you cited. I mean, it doesn't say anything about that. And that, I guess, that's why I think we should change the tax property policy to reflect a better method of doing business.
Well, that used to be the requirement, more or less, by the town when they put it up for bid. They needed to get their cost. And anything over that, fine. If not, the town could turn the bids down if it didn't come to that amount.
And
Well,
that's, and
a
that's
bid
your,
could be something like that.
and that's your recollection of all the years you've been here, correct, Jan?
Yeah, yeah. That's all we ever wanted was what was out there.
But I understand what you're saying, but again, in fairness to property owners who may have difficulty in paying taxes, or not able to pay taxes, whatever that might be, I can understand what you're saying in the sense, if you have enough funds in the bid to pay off indebtedness, that satisfies the town. I'm not sure we're doing a good service to the community as such. That's basically my feeling.
You're saying it should bring a lot more money.
Well, if you have a minimum bid, it puts it on the line.
But this bid, there was no minimum at all.
I realize
There was
that.
only one bid. If you put down, this is worth $100,000 and you have to pay that, you're not even going to get that one bid.
I didn't say that. I'm only saying that a method of bidding property could be taking the tax statement and cutting it in half, or you cut it in quarters if that's more appropriate. I'm not setting a definite figure.
What do you mean by the tax statement?
Well,
Are you talking about the taxes that are owed
the
and not
assessed,
paid?
the assessed value of
The
the
assessed
property.
value, okay, that's not a,
You know, if you cut that in half and use that as a minimum bid,
but sometimes the properties aren't worth even half of that if they
then
haven't
it shouldn't
been
be taxed
reviewed.
that level.
That's right, they
So
shouldn't have been.
that's the whole process.
No, it's true, because many of these rentals are very run down and haven't been looked at in years.
So what you're looking at in Selectman Creighton is revisiting our policy on tax proposal. And we can
I
certainly.
think that's something
And
we should do.
And we can certainly do that. And we put it on a future agenda. I don't know if we want a little time to think about it, if we want it on the next one, or you want it the one after that. It seems like it's something that we should be doing.
If that's the pleasure of the board, I don't have a...
Yeah, I gotta weigh in with my colleagues. Would you like to?
I was just going to say, we
Revisit it.
could check around, see what all the other towns do.
You know, we
Is that-
always relate back to the other towns.
Why
We're
does
the
that
town of
Well, we
Lubec.
don't
We
want-
run the business here.
Right,
And
right.
by jolly, I think it's time that we actually took the
Because
bull by the
I
horns
don't
and said,
agree-
okay.
I don't agree with it.
Well, you don't have to. But
Okay?
that's an honest feeling.
Right.
Are we allowed to chime in or discuss?
Everybody done?
I move that we put this, I guess we can make a motion at this point. Yeah, we put this.
Well, we got a motion already on the board. We got to
Okay.
take that one first.
All right.
I think Selectman Murphy would like that.
Any more discussion on this?
Yeah. first of all, I'd like to state, I don't think the town did anything illegal. However, you went back to your ethics bill that you all passed, well, two of you passed, back in April 20th, 2010. And it says real estate transactions. In the case of a real estate transaction, the potential use of confidential information and knowledge to further a town official or town employee's personal interests require special consideration. Purchase and sales of real estate, which might be regarded as speculation for quick profit, ought to be avoided, particularly in situations where the town official or town employee may have inside or advanced information as a result of his or her office or employment with the town. And the town has this listed for $229,000, I believe, some odd $100. And you go online, and on the multiple listing, it was listed for sale for $249,000, which I know the market's down, and you probably couldn't get it. But they had pictures of it. And I've got pictures of the outside. I went over and walked around the outside. It's got all replacement windows. It's got good doors. I thought we must have a key, but nobody has a key, so I couldn't go inside. But according to online, I got a picture of a kitchen. It's not a dump, as was cited. I got pictures of rooms. There's no holes in the walls that I can see. Got a picture of 2 bathrooms, no holes in those walls. Got a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. One of them's got a beautiful hardwood floor in it. And I just think that, this is information, and
How old are the pictures, Helen?
well, this was when it was listed on multiple listing here. But,
When was that?
well, the thing is, Marcia, nobody went in the building to know what it's like. And the town's got $229,000.
Well,
Now, wait a minute. The
Keith,
assessors,
you have a key, why can't we go over right now and
he
look?
doesn't have a key. I asked him, because I wanted to go through it.
Town owns it.
No, they don't have the key.
There's
But I can explain. And,
I'm saying we go look at it now.
how are you going to do that? I asked for a key, Marcia, the next day, they didn't have it. Then I came in, saw Keith, he didn't have it either. Judy said she didn't have it. So, and nobody cared to. And the way I look at it is that there's no key. The land under the buildings were $60,000 at least for a house lot in Berwick. And so, I mean, come on.
So you'd have to tear that house down and put up a little one.
So what? There's a value.
Excuse me, folks, excuse me.
I just feel that, as a selectman, I have not been on the board long enough, but I would have known what the town needed for money for that place. And that's inside information. And I have a problem with
Why didn't we get a lot
that.
of bids? It was going so cheap.
Because you put it in the Fosters, and you're the one that tells me yourself, nobody buys the Fosters because you don't buy
I
them.
didn't put it in there. I always say put it in the Sentinel. It's delivered free so everybody gets it.
Excuse me, please don't.
But what I'm saying, I mean, I shut up while everybody talked, and now I'm talking, and everybody wants to talk. Oh, just don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you. So, anyway, that's the way I feel. I feel as though that we should reconsider this bid, and we can waiver, and we can throw out, and the town has right to throw out any bid, and I don't think this is an up bid. I really don't. Because I think the information was there, and he must have had the information knowing what the town owed on it. And I think he probably had an idea of what the value was. And I won't say why I know that.
How many bids?
Can I weigh in just on a couple
Yes.
of points?
There was only the one bid.
I'm really pleased that Selectman Chambers is not opening his mouth and he's allowing the rest of his colleagues to debate and discuss this. But a couple things that were brought up that need to be addressed. Number one, the reason we don't have a key is that we have 60 days from the date that we end up selling the property. If we take possession of that property physically, then we are liable for anything that's there. And